For a long time, I felt like there was something wrong with me. I was stuck in a creative block where I was doubting myself, people pleasing, and I was trying to fit into beliefs that I was raised around. But then I realized I'm not broken. There's nothing wrong with me. I just didn't understand myself completely yet. I know that there are a lot of you out there that feel the same exact way. And so in this video, I'm going to be talking about how I started my discovery of finding my true self, and also what helped me get out of that place. Hey guys, long time no see. I know that you guys seen my video a few times ago. We're not going to talk about that, but basically today I wanted to talk about something because I was in a creative block. That's part of why I haven't really been on here, but I want to get more consistent, and I want all of us to get more consistent. I feel like a lot of us deal with the same things where we have ideas in our mind and we want to progress and we want to push out our ideas, but it just comes to that consistency to where it's just hard to keep going, honestly. And a lot of us feel the same exact way. And so I'm building a system for myself and I'm discovering myself, and I'm not gonna gatekeep. We're in this together. So I'm gonna let you guys know what I go through, what helps me. We're gonna talk about it so that you guys can also implement it into your routines and get your ideas out there, because everybody wants to see it and your ideas are important. So if you guys see me looking over here, it's just because I have notes on the side because my mind can be jumbled everywhere. And so just to stay on track, I'm gonna be looking over there, here and there. But the first talking point is going to be about feeling stuck and being in that creative block. So I have a few points that we're gonna talk about: feeling stuck creatively, doubting your ideas, comparing yourself to others even when they don't have the lifestyle that you want, and feeling like you're not progressing. These things that I listed, they tie in together, and creativity gets blocked when you're disconnected from yourself. A lot of times we're worried about how we were raised and what people are going to be thinking about us when we go a different path of what they expected from us. And a lot of the times our family tries to live through us, and you have to stop that cycle when it comes to you. Trust me, I know what it feels like. And it happens. I'm not gonna say like I blame family members for wanting me to live a certain lifestyle or try to tell me what to do, because that's what happened in their lifestyle. But what happens is that the cycle just keeps going and nobody stops it. And so that's why everybody thinks that's the norm. That's what you need to do. And everybody wants to tell you, be a lawyer, be a doctor, be this, be that. And it's like, those careers are fine, but at the same time, your art matters, your creativity matters. And we push those things back. When it comes to creativity and art, a lot of people see those skills as a struggle, and they see it as like, oh, well, what are you trying to do? No, you shouldn't do that. You need to go and do this. You have to stop doing the things that other people want you to do and pushing back your talents, because I'm telling you, throughout life, the whole time that you're living, you're gonna just feel like this emptiness, sort of this void that needs to be filled, and it can never really be filled until you fulfill it by pursuing that dream. So if you keep doing what everybody else wants you to do and you keep neglecting that child in you that had all of these dreams and desires and things like that, then it's just gonna feel neglected. You're always gonna feel neglected somehow inside of you. And you don't wanna feel that way. You don't wanna live with regrets and looking back on your life and realizing that you just live for other people. That's not gonna get you anywhere. We end up doubting our ideas and not really believing in ourselves and comparing ourselves to others because we're thinking of how other people's lives have gone. And the thing is that when we're looking at other people's lives, yes, they can be successful in certain things, and that's great for them, but that doesn't mean that you have to do that. You're allowed to be successful in the things that you want to do. And even if it's not visible that it's possible with someone else doing it, doesn't mean that you can't do it. I believe that God gave us gifts, and our gift back to Him is by pursuing the dreams that He put into us, the talents that He put into us. If we leave it sitting there, it's like, damn, like, this is a waste. This is a waste. Can you imagine if you came up with a project and You give this project the talents, the skills, but the damn project just don't want to move. It just want to sit there, keep overthinking and not moving. And it's like, I instilled this into you for a reason. Just move, just go. I got you. And if we're praying for God to give us these things, these talents, these experiences, He's going to give it to you. So be careful what you pray for, because there's times where I'll ask for patience and God will give me those times where I need the patience. I'll ask for more confidence. He's going to give me an experience or a scenario to where I'm going to have to build confidence. And it may feel uncomfortable, but that's because I've never been put in that position before. And I'm stepping into a new person that I've never become, but I want to be there. And so I'm going to feel uncomfortable. And that's where a lot of people push back when they're feeling uncomfortable. They're like, no, this doesn't feel right. And they're asking other people, well, if I do this, what do you think? That person never did it before. So of course they're going to tell you, I don't think you should do that. I think you should do this. You have to stop doing that. Think about people who've invented things. Think about Einstein. Like, there were things that were created that never existed. Think about the person that created the airplane. Nobody knew that that could be possible. Those kinds of things, you have to think about how that person truly believed in themselves. They're in the back, they're doing the work, they're studying, they're doing these things to go towards their ideas. Only they can see it. And other people may not see it now, but that's okay, because once you finally get it done and you fulfill that purpose, everybody's going to be looking back like, wow, this is what you were doing. Like, you actually did it. So during the process, you may not have people rooting you on or believing in you. And you might hear people saying, well, I don't think you should do that. I don't think you should do this. But listen, if God put it in you, He put it in you for a reason, and you have to keep going. Honestly, it can be annoying because the way humans are is like, sometimes they won't really support you until they see it done. It's like, in a way, I understand it, but at the same time, it is very frustrating. So they won't really root you on and support you and understand until it's visible that you can do it. So stop relying on people's opinions and what they think you can do. You need to know that you can do it. You need to pray about it, and you can get it done. Sometimes it's not lack of talent. It's more so mental clutter and expectations. A lot of the times we'll have ideas and we don't really execute properly because it's going like this in our brains. We didn't jot it down. We didn't organize it. And so that's why it's not being done properly. It's really not being done, because how are you going to expect for things to be done when it's sitting in your brain? Your brain, you have memories, but you forget them at times and they go to the back. You have to write it down so that it's visible. Write it down to where you can see it. I just wrote on my calendar board. Normally, I don't really do that because sometimes I wasn't sticking to it, but I'm making myself stick to it now. And so I wrote a routine for me to get these videos out more, to do other content that I need to do more, or whatever else I want on my schedule. I write it down on there. I put it on my wall so that when I'm waking up, I look and I'm remembering the goal. You have to stop with these disorganized thoughts and letting it sit in your brain and telling yourself you're going to remember later, because no, you might remember later, but it's not guaranteed. And you can't let these ideas just go away. You have to see it as like, it's so important, because these ideas that you have, God will give it to you. But if you do not execute, He's going to give it to somebody else. Think about all the people that have the same exact ideas. There's people in this world that will not execute their ideas. And so God will give it to somebody else. And you're going to sit there looking at somebody else doing all the things that you wish that you could have done. What is that life? You don't want to look at that and feel like, oh my gosh, I should have just did it. I should have just did it. That's one of my fears. I don't want to get older and wish that I just became this artist that I would like to be, and wish that I did all of these dreams that I had and opened these businesses that I wish that I did. I have the time right now, and so I'm going to start doing it. And the thing is, nobody's going to save you. You have to do it for yourself, and nobody's going to want it as much as you. So put that work in. If you really want it, you have to put the work in. And it all starts with organizing your cluttered thoughts. And then from there, you can look at your schedule and be like, you know what? I want to add this in. And you know what? I want to remove this. And that's where it all starts. Creative blocks usually come from not feeling safe to be your real self. And it's really time to unlearn those beliefs that you were raised around. And trust me, this is a touchy subject. I know it's really harder to do. It's easier said than done for sure. But I'm telling you, all those things you were raised around when you were getting older, That was years of being put into your brain. So it's going to be a long process. It's going to be feeling broken, feeling lost. And that's because it's up to you to find yourself, and it's time to build yourself right now. Being an adult, I'm 23, and that means that I'm 3 years into being an adult for real. So it's 3 years new to this and trying to unlearn the things that I was raised around, becoming my true self. And there's moments where I feel lost. I feel like I'm at a point right now where I kind of feel that way. And it gets scary because when you step out of those things that you were always taught, sometimes you're going to get looks. You're going to get people talking about you. You might lose some people. And the thing is, you have to let it go. If people really love you, they're going to stick by your side. For those people who go, it's like, okay, goodbye. I'll help you shut the door. Like, it's time to really stop holding yourself back because you're worried about these people. Because at the same time, when you keep pleasing them, do they pay your bills? Do they put money in your pocket? And it's just like, even if they do, I mean, it's time to make it for yourself. You can't keep worrying about what other people think your whole life, please. We have to change. We have to grow. We have to be our true selves, because if not, we are never going to be happy. Realizing most beliefs you grew up around weren't your own. And of course, when we grow up, when we're kids, we're a sponge. So everything around us, everything that everyone says and does, we're just taking all of that in, and that is our belief. And of course, when it comes that way, our thoughts aren't really our own. But that's the point. When we get older, we have to really study ourselves and learn to love ourselves, take ourselves out on dates, see what we truly love, see what we really don't like, because we were raised and taught what our beliefs should be. And so we need to see, is this really what I want? There was a time after high school where, I went through my spiritual journey, and I was in a point where I was really trying to find myself. And yes, I grew up in church, but I also had to do that for myself. And I had to see, is this what I really want? And yes, I went on my journey with God, and I realized He is truly there for me. Things like that. Like when it comes to religion, when it comes to who you love, or whatever you want to do career-wise, you have to see, is that truly what you want when you step outside of your family's beliefs and your family's thoughts? Do you really love this? Is this something that you could see yourself doing? You need to ask yourself these questions, and a lot of the times we don't. We abandon ourselves, and we just allow other people to tell us who we truly are. And I felt like growing up, a lot of the times I wasn't really able to be myself. Like, I feel like I'm stepping into that now, and so everybody's kind of shocked. Like, when I'm really showing my true personality, and I've done the work, and I show up for myself, and I'm just open to who I am. Of course, there's times where sometimes I'm a little nervous, but I'm really stepping out of that, because like, what are you going to do about it when I show you who I truly am? And I'm a beautiful person internally, not even talking about externally, but internally, I have no malice intentions for anyone or anything like that. It's just like, when it comes to certain ideas that I have, or like certain things that I do, certain people might feel certain ways about it, but I don't care. I'm really starting to not care at all. And I feel like growing up, it was like, I'm always freaking reading this script, and I'm sick of it. I'm really sick of it. And I'm done, because it's just very stressful. I feel like people are just always like, oh, Vani, don't do that. You need to look like a lady. You need to look like this. You need to look like that. And it's like, yes, of course, I'm a lady, and I have my morals, and I have class, but it's even things like my tattoos. Like, I have tattoos. People telling me, you don't want to get too many tattoos because you're going to start looking like this, and you're not going to be a lady. I just love art. Like, geez, is that a crime? Is that a crime? Like, I don't understand. People always want to give an opinion on what they think, even with like how I used to talk when I was younger, because of where I was from. Just even like people saying, stop talking like that, you sound ghetto, da 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 da. It's just like, can you please get the hell out of my face? Like, I'm just really getting sick of it. And I feel like I'm getting older, and I have manners. Like, it's not like I'm just out here doing whatever. But it's like, I'm not about to keep letting people tell me how to be. And those are just little examples. But I have other examples, of course, I'm going to talk about in my other videos, because there is another topic that I want to talk about with you guys. And yeah, that's a touchy subject, but I am going to talk about it because it's real. And yeah, we're going to talk about it. And here's point 2. Feeling guilty when you question them, and them is family or friends, whoever it is. People will say things, and then I feel like it's just like, shut up, don't ask questions. Huh? What's going on here? Like, why can't I ask the question? That's because a lot of the times people just be saying stuff because that's what they were raised around. They don't have a true explanation. And I'm one of those kids that's like, why? 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 You want me to go over here? Why? You want me to do this? Why? And it's just like, shut up and do it. What? Even besides that, it's the point of when you try to ask the deeper questions of why, though. When it's like, when it comes to certain beliefs, or when it comes to certain, deeper things as you're growing up, you want to ask about. My thing is, any family, I feel like from any ethnic group, whatever it is, families can be like that. But also I feel like, from my mom's background, we are Caribbean. And so they can be so like, no, like, you do this, don't ask me no questions. What? You asking questions? You being disrespectful. I'm not being disrespectful. I'm asking a question. So even stuff like that, like, challenge yourself, challenge your family to just ask a question in a respectful way. You can go about it however you want to go about it, but ask your questions. And if people want to go off on you, it's like, why are you being like that? I'm just asking you a question. And if they can't answer, you come up to your own resolution. Even if they do give you an explanation, you can see if you really agree with it or not. And then you can go from there with it. But yeah, I feel like a lot of the times we grow up and we're taught, don't question me, or it's being disrespectful, or just shut up and sit down. I told you to do it, so just do it. It's like, what? No, I want to know why. But yeah, like, I don't like stuff like that. I feel like you need to tell me why. And I have other points on here as well. I'm just gonna go to feeling like you have to be a certain way because you fear disappointment. And I completely understand that. I feel like it is really hard. And even though I'm saying all of these things, every day is a journey for me of unlocking a new level of myself and being uncomfortable. And I'm telling you, you are going to grow in those uncomfortable situations. Those people that leave, if they leave, then they're showing their true colors, and you can let them go. But you have to continue to stay true to you. Honestly, we all have our own perspectives of life. We all go through our own things in life, and no one's really going to know what it's like to be you. You're never going to know what it's really like to be someone else. We only see life through here for ourselves. We cannot step into somebody else's body. Sure, we can feel empathetic to them, and they can tell us our story, their story, and you can listen and you can try to understand. But every day when they're walking down the street, when they're driving, you can't see through their eyes. You can only see through your eyes. So that's specific for a reason. God made us to see things from our point of view and work on ourselves for a specific reason. Let people feel how they feel, but you have to do what you have to do for you. And I want you guys to make that some homework. I want y'all to write that down, and I want y'all to really work on it, because I'm telling you, I feel great even though it's uncomfortable, but I feel great when I'm stepping into my true self, and I'm learning to stop caring so much about what other people think, because it doesn't matter. And don't nobody put no money in my pocket but me. So it's really just like, those people that are hating, they are just feeling some kind of uncomfortability within themselves, because when they watch you, they see all the things that they wish that they could be. And that's the thing right there. They don't want to say all of that. They don't want to say that, but that's the truth. And so you have to continue to be an inspiration. You have to continue to be a layout of what it looks like to go for what you want. But you have to know if that's really what you truly want. Some people don't want it that bad, or they're okay with being uncomfortable their whole life. That's, you know, I'm not gonna say it's cool because I don't really agree, but you do you. But it's like, for the people out there that I love, and I love my viewers, I love my community, I need y'all to lock in, okay? We have to lock in together. So it just all starts with thinking for yourself. I want you guys to periodically, when I say periodically, at least like once a week if you can. I know some people have busy schedules, but try to take yourself out on a date, even if the date is at home. I just want you to jot down things about yourself that you're learning. I want you to see what you truly like, what you don't like. I want you to see what gets you excited, what makes you more dull on those days when you're feeling sad, what triggered that, what's making you feel more motivated. Write those things down. Really learn about yourself and think for yourself. A lot of people these days do not think for themselves. It's sickening. And I don't want that for y'all. I don't want that for me. And so we are going to work on thinking for ourselves. Sometimes discovering yourself means unlearning things first. So we have another topic that we're going to talk about, and this is about discovering that you're neurodivergent. So this is for me. I know that there are a lot of people out there that don't really know about being neurodivergent, or it's a lack of information within family or just your community in general. Growing up, I never knew that I was neurodivergent. I just thought it was something wrong with me. And I was like, why do I think the way that I think? I just felt like kind of crazy. I felt nobody understood me. And my brain just constantly felt like this. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, like it was stressing me out and I didn't understand it at all. And I have some points here that are listed. So I realized that I have ADHD, OCD traits, struggling with focus, overthinking, feeling different growing up, and realizing my brain works differently. So even when I would be in school, I would notice that it was really hard for me to focus. My teacher would be talking or reading, and all the words are just going like this. And then after they're asking questions, I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. And I'll be so mad at myself because as they're talking, I'm like, Avani, focus, just focus. And for me, it was really hard. It just really wasn't that simple. And so I just kept thinking, why is my brain like this? Like there's something wrong with me. Honestly, I thought I was dumb. Like I know that I was smart, but when it came to certain things, I was like, why am I acting so dumb right now? That's what I would say to myself. It took years and years and years, and I started developing things like depression or whatever because I felt like I didn't understand myself, and no one around me really talked about it like that. And so I didn't really know what those things were, especially with like ADHD. A lot of people make it seem like, oh, well, if you have ADHD, you jumping around, you doing backflips, you doing splits, and you just yapping at the mouth. But that wasn't me. I was a quiet kid, but I just couldn't focus. So for me, it was internally. And I also started to realize that ADHD can be different within, of course, different people, but also within different genders. So female, male, the ADHD can show out more externally when it comes to men. And then for women, it could be more internally because also it ties into how we are raised. So, you know, I'm not going to yap about this, but with women, we're always taught to be so conservative, like just be quiet, just like, you know, be cute, be a lady. So for us, we don't really show, you know, jumping around and all that. It kind of stays in our brains. And so, yeah, all my thoughts would jump around. Teachers would make little comments, make me feel stupid. And I really hated that. And I felt like I was slow. But as I'm getting older, I'm talking to other people who have like ADHD or are not neurodivergent. Sorry, I'm cracking my knuckles and talking. But people who are neurodivergent, and they're explaining these symptoms to me. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I thought it was just me. Like, I thought I was crazy, or I just thought like it was something off with me and I couldn't understand myself. And I'm like, other people feel this way too. So it really just makes me feel at home, and it makes me feel at ease that I'm not those things that I used to say about myself, basically. All those name calling things I used to say about myself and thinking that I'm just off in the head. It's like, no, like, you know, it's nothing wrong with me. I just process things differently, and I have to work through things differently. If you're out there and you notice that you might feel like it's hard for you to focus and do certain things, Maybe you need to look into seeing if you're neurodivergent or, you know, things like that. When it comes to scheduling things, organizing things, you can build a system for yourself, because I for sure need a system. I would feel like the littlest task could feel so hard for me. It could be cleaning my room. I would be dreading it. Like, I would literally be procrastinating, dreading it, and I'll feel so stressed out. And, you know, it could be another simple task where I have to do it and I'm dreading it. And then when I finally do it, it only takes 10 minutes. It's not even that deep. I would say look into that and see that. And if you are neurodivergent, you're not crazy, you're not a weirdo. You just, you know, think differently and love yourself enough to really do the research and build a system to make yourself successful. What we're gonna talk about next is something that I've been struggling with ever since I was younger, and this is breaking the people-pleasing habit. Honestly, recently, I've broken out of that, and a lot of people have made me feel like I'm the bad guy. Oh, like now I'm the bad guy just because I say no once. You can say yes a million times. Once you say no, everybody's like, why is she acting like that? She acting brand new. Yeah, I'm acting brand new because I'm not about to keep on saying yes to you, and I'm not going to keep on doing things that I do not want to do. For a long time, I was always trying to make other people feel more comfortable, and I had to question myself, girl, why are you always wanting other people to feel so comfortable while you're sitting here in discomfort and you're not happy? You're doing things you have no business doing. You don't want to do it. And then once you're in the position and you're doing it, you're in the back of your head the whole time like, why did I agree to do this? And it's just like, no, if you don't want to do it, don't do it. And for a long time, when people would ask me stuff, I would just feel like, oh, I don't want them to be mad at me, so let me just do it. And it's like, whole time, if they really love you or care about you, when you say no, they'll respect it. And then also, you need to stop letting people feel like you're the yes man. Yeah, I'm gonna go to her because she always say yes. All the tasks that nobody else in the damn world want to do, they're gonna come to you because they're gonna be like, oh, I know so-and-so not gonna do it. They're not gonna do it, but she gonna do it. So we gonna ask her. I know she gonna say yes. You do not want anybody thinking of you like that. You need people to know that you have boundaries. You need people to know that when they come to you, they need to come up with a valuable reason of why you need to be doing it, and not just assuming that you're going to say yes to whatever and you don't care about the circumstances. You just going to be a yes man. No, you don't want people thinking of you like that. I'm going to need y'all to start having boundaries and letting people know, even if it makes them feel uncomfortable. I'm telling you, those people that make you feel wrong for saying no, they say no all the time and they have no problem about it. If somebody says something to them, they're like, hey, can you help me with this? No, I don't really think I want to do this because I just feel like it doesn't add value to what I'm doing. Or I don't want to do it because I just feel like I don't want to be in that space. I don't want to be in that predicament. Or I can't. Stop pushing away plans because you want to help somebody else and you're worried about them being mad at you. Because you're helping them get closer to their goals and their tasks, but you're not getting closer to yours. So in whatever circumstance that it is, it doesn't matter what it is. If you don't want to do it, if you're feeling comfortable doing it, do not do it. You're your own person. If somebody wants to stop messing with you because of that, then they were only messing with you because of that. So say no. But, you know, I'm not trying to say be all mean and just be saying no and only thinking about yourself. There's some sacrifices we have to make. There's some things we need to do to help people out, even if we don't want to do it. Sometimes you got to be uncomfortable. But what I'm saying is, don't ever put yourself in an uncomfortable situation. If you know somebody else can do that task, but you keep on stepping yourself, you're happy behind up, talk about something, yes, I'll do it, just because you want somebody to be happy with you and not mad at you, that is the wrong reason to say yes. You need to say yes because you feel comfortable. You need to say yes because you feel like you're open to help. But other than that, stop saying yes all the time. You need to make your value up here. Your value is not going to be up here if you're always saying yes. When you learn about yourself and you create these boundaries and these values, people are going to respect it. They might feel a little upset at first. When I first start saying no, people were looking at me like, why you acting like that? You acting different. But now people respect me because they realize I'm not going to do any and everything. And so I'm happy internally because of that. It's always kind of like the starting process with whatever you do. The starting of doing something is always really hard, but once you're in it, people are going to adapt to it. Like, people respect me more, and I want people to respect you more. And so what we're going to do is we're going to stop being yes men. People pleasing disconnects you from yourself, and you're not going to be able to discover yourself if you're constantly putting on a performance for other people. You can't always please everybody, and it's just not going to work. You can't please yourself and please other people simultaneously. You just can't do it. And so you have to put yourself first. Stop putting other people ahead of you. The moment that I stopped being the person that everybody else wanted me to be is when I started meeting the real me. And that's where true self-love comes in. That's where true happiness comes in. And you won't regret it. Now we're going to talk about self-discovery versus self-criticism. A lot of the times we're so quick to tell ourselves, you can't do anything right. You're lazy. You're dumb. You're slow. You don't know what you're doing. Who do you think you are? You need to stop saying those things to yourself. Stop criticizing yourself in that way. Instead of saying you're lazy, think about, what are the things that motivate you? What are those things that make you feel like it's worth getting up every day to do? Even on the days where you're feeling like lack of motivation and you don't want to do anything, sit back and say, why am I feeling this way today? Like, I don't want to be this way. This is not the person that I want to be. And granted, rest is okay. I'm not saying on your rest days to tell yourself that you're lazy. But on days where you know you have things to do, but you start to feel like, I'm unmotivated. I don't want to do anything right now. Fix your environment. Take note of the things that make you amped up, make you feel like, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to get this done. Put those things in your environment around you, because your mind is going to pick up on those things, and it's going to kind of feel excited when you have those things around that normally makes you feel amped up to get things done. This is why it's important to learn about yourself, because when you don't really learn about yourself, you talk to yourself in a bad way. You talk to yourself in a way you would never talk to somebody else. You would never talk to your cousin that way. You would never talk to your friend that way. So why are you talking to yourself that way? When you're talking to your friends, you let them explain why they're feeling the way that they're feeling. And when they explain those things, you listen, you take it in, and you give them advice. So why not do the same thing for yourself? Why do you tell yourself, you don't know what you're doing? You just lazy. You have no clue. You just slow. And then you just go lay down and you cry it out and you go to bed. No. You need to sit with yourself, whether it's in a mirror or whether you want to sit somewhere and meditate, or you want to just sit and stare at something until you figure out what's going on. You need to do that. If journaling helps you out, journaling helps too, because when you're journaling, it's kind of like you're venting to yourself without somebody else knowing your business. Only you know. But you can read back the feelings that you felt. You can probably pinpoint what you did earlier in the day that maybe triggered you to feel that way. Or you can also just like read it and see what you need to fix, whether it's your thinking or whatever it is. You need to figure out what's going on in your brain instead of just coming at yourself like that. Okay, so I'm looking at another point, and that actually ties into what I said. Understanding your strengths and weaknesses, creating an environment that supports you. And examples would be building routines that work for your brain, giving yourself grace, not forcing yourself into boxes. And I read a book called Atomic Habits. This one teaches you how to, surround your environment in a way that's going to help motivate you. So if you know you're going to be distracted when you have the TV out here, maybe unplug the TV, put it in a different room. Some people might feel like it's extra, but do you really want the things that you say that you want? If you really want it that bad, then you need to create the environment for yourself. Because if you're constantly distracted and you turn the TV on when you have stuff to do, what's more valuable to you? What's more important to you? You keep constantly feeling stuck every single day because you keep on living the same life. If you want something different, you have to create different habits. What do you expect? When you're doing the same exact things, you're going to have the same exact outcome. And so you need to change your habits, you need to change your environment. And so the goal isn't to fix yourself, but instead it is to understand yourself. And now we're at the end of our video, and this is where I'm going to give you guys some tips on how to discover yourself. Number 1, you need to spend time alone with your thoughts. You need to question beliefs that you were raised around. Pay attention to what energizes you. Stop performing for approval and build an environment that supports your brain. If you ever felt like something was wrong with you, I want you to know that sometimes you're not broken. Sometimes you're just misunderstood, even by yourself. Discovering yourself takes time, but it is one of the freest things that you'll ever do. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I want you to know that this is a community. I'm here for you, and also the people in this community are here for you. So you are not alone. During this journey, there's a lot to learn and there's a lot to unlearn, and I want you to know that it's okay. Instead of always coming at yourself, instead try to learn yourself and love yourself. And comment down below if you've ever felt like you had to rediscover yourself all over again. And if this resonated with you, make sure to subscribe.